Welcome back to the deep dive.
Oh,
Today we're getting granular with the English language,
oh,
not just definitions, but the subtleties and stories
yeah.
behind the words we use.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at sophisticated,
Mhm.
that British slang gem skint,
Oh, fun.
the ever-optimistic blessing in disguise,
Okay.
and finally cognizant.
It's fascinating how a single word can carry so much weight.
Yeah.
History, social context,
Right.
even aspiration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with sophisticated.
Okay.
I feel like this word gets thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What does it really mean beyond just, fancy? Have you ever encountered someone or something that
Yeah.
truly embodied
Yeah.
sophistication?
Sophisticated definitely goes beyond just surface level appearances.
Okay.
It suggests a depth of knowledge,
Uh-huh.
a refined taste,
Hmm.
even a certain worldliness.
Okay.
Think of a master sommelier, for example,
Mm.
who can discern subtle notes in a wine
Right.
that most of us would completely miss.
Yeah.
Or an architect
Mhm.
whose designs are both functional
Mm-hmm.
and breathtakingly beautiful.
Yeah.
That's sophistication in action.
And we have this great line from one of the sources.
Okay.
Her sophisticated sense of style was evident from her choice of attire, which was both elegant and cutting edge.
Right.
It's interesting because it brings in that element of timelessness.
Yeah.
Being sophisticated isn't just about following trends.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having an enduring sense of style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's really intriguing is that sophisticated comes from the Latin word sophisticatus,
Okay.
meaning tampered with or unnatural. Almost like achieving that level of refinement
Okay.
requires a deliberate shaping or honing
Right.
of your tastes and knowledge.
It's like a paradox.
Yeah.
You're aiming for something that appears effortless and natural,
Yeah.
but it often comes from careful cultivation, like a beautifully manicured garden that looks wild and free,
Right.
but someone's put a lot of work into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you look at synonyms like refined, cultivated, polished, and elegant,
Okay.
you see that common thread of intentionality.
Right.
It's about taking something raw and elevating it to a higher level.
So maybe aspiring to be sophisticated isn't such a bad thing after all.
Yeah.
It's about striving for excellence in your chosen field or area of interest.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's not just limited to people either.
Right.
You can have sophisticated technology,
Uh-huh.
sophisticated arguments,
Yeah.
even sophisticated humor.
All right. Now, for something completely different,
Okay.
let's hop across the pond for a bit of British slang.
Oh, fun.
Are you ready to get skint?
Oh, right.
I have to admit, this one always makes me chuckle.
Oh.
It just sounds so descriptive.
Skint is definitely a word with personality,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets right to the point.
Yeah.
It means being flat broke,
Okay.
having no money whatsoever.
Right.
You might hear someone say,
Yeah.
I can't go out tonight.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely skint after that weekend trip.
Our source gives the example.
Okay.
After paying all my bills this month, I'm completely skint and can't afford to go out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's that universal feeling of being tapped out,
Right.
no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the origin.
Uh-huh.
Where does skint come from?
Well, the exact origin is a bit murky,
Okay.
but it popped up in the mid-19th century
Uh-huh.
and is thought to be related to the word skinned.
Interesting.
Imagine being stripped bare of everything.
Okay.
Like having your wallet completely emptied out.
Right.
That's the image skint evokes.
So it's like being skinned of all your cash.
Yeah.
I love how slang can be so literal and visual.
Yeah.
Would you say skin is used across all social classes in Britain?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a word you'll hear everywhere,
Wow.
from pubs to boardrooms.
Interesting.
While there are more formal ways to say you're broke,
Right.
penniless,
Mm-hmm.
impoverished,
Yeah.
destitute,
Mm.
skint has a certain casualness
Okay.
and even humor to it.
It almost takes the sting out of being broke, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're acknowledging the situation with a wink and a nod.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a way of saying,
Yeah.
hey, I'm down on my luck right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not letting it get me down.
Right.
Which brings us to another phrase all about perspective.
Okay.
Blessing in disguise.
Okay.
Have you ever had one of those moments
Yeah?
where something seemingly terrible happened,
Uh-huh.
but it ended up leading you to something better?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I think we've all had those moments where we look back and think, wow, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Right.
It's almost like the universe has a plan for us,
Uh-huh.
even when we can't see it at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the essence of blessing in disguise.
Mm.
It's a reminder that things often happen for a reason,
Right.
even if that reason isn't immediately apparent.
Yeah.
Sometimes those setbacks
Right.
or disappointments
Yeah.
actually push us in a direction we were meant to go,
Yeah.
leading us to opportunities we might have otherwise missed.
Our source gives a great example of this.
Right.
Losing that job was a blessing in disguise, as it gave me the opportunity to pursue my passion and start my own business.
Right.
It really highlights how what feels like a negative event
Yeah.
can be a catalyst for positive change.
It's all about reframing your perspective.
Okay.
Instead of dwelling on the loss or the disappointment, you shift your focus to the potential that's now opened up.
Right.
And that's a powerful mindset to cultivate.
I love how this idiom doesn't sugarcoat things.
Mm-hmm.
It acknowledges that something bad has happened,
Yeah.
but it encourages us to look for the good that might come from it.
Mhm.
It's like finding a silver lining in a dark cloud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while blessing in disguise is a unique phrase,
Okay.
you could say it shares some common ground
Okay.
with expressions like silver lining or serendipity.
Right.
They all point to this idea of unexpected good fortune
Yeah.
emerging from challenging circumstances.
It makes you wonder how many blessings in disguise we might miss
Yeah.
if we're not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a matter of staying open to possibilities.
Yeah.
Even when things feel tough.
I think that's a key takeaway here.
Yeah.
Cultivating that sense of optimism and open-mindedness
Mhm.
can make all the difference.
All right. So we've talked about sophistication,
Mm-hmm.
being broke in style,
Yeah.
and finding hidden blessings.
Okay.
Now for our final word,
Okay.
let's shift gears to something a bit more cerebral.
Right.
Cognizant.
Okay.
It's a word you often hear in formal contexts,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's incredibly relevant
Yeah.
to our everyday lives.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to be truly cognizant of something?
Cognizant really gets to the heart
Okay.
of awareness and understanding. It's about being fully informed,
Mm-hmm.
having all the facts at your disposal,
Right.
and being conscious of the implications.
Okay.
Think about a doctor making a diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be cognizant of the patient's symptoms,
Okay.
medical history,
Yeah.
and potential risks
Right.
before making a decision.
Yeah.
Or a pilot navigating a plane.
Uh,
They're constantly cognizant of weather conditions,
mm-hmm.
air traffic,
Right.
and the mechanics of the aircraft.
The example in our source is
Okay,
Jane was cognizant of the challenges ahead and prepared herself accordingly to meet them.
right.
It shows how being cognizant allows you to anticipate and plan
Yeah,
rather than just reacting to situations as they come up.
exactly.
Right.
It's about having that foresight
Yeah.
and mental clarity
Mhm.
to make informed choices.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how cognizant comes from the Latin cognoscere,
Okay.
meaning to know.
Okay.
Over time, it evolved to encompass this deeper sense of
Right.
awareness and comprehension.
It's like cognizant is the active state of knowing something.
Uh-huh.
You're not just passively absorbing information, you're actively processing it
Mm.
and integrating it into your understanding of the world.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And when you look at synonyms like aware, conscious, informed, and mindful,
Okay.
you see they all share that element
Right.
of active engagement with knowledge.
It seems like mastering these four words,
Yeah.
sophisticated skint, blessing in disguise, and cognizant,
Mm-hmm.
could really enhance someone's understanding
Yeah.
of not just the English language, but
Mhm.
also how to navigate the world more effectively.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Language isn't just about communication.
Uh-huh.
It's about shaping our perceptions, our
Yeah.
thoughts,
Uh-huh.
and even our actions.
So it's not just about expanding your vocabulary, it's
Right,
about
yeah.
expanding your worldview.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's so exciting about language.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving,
Mhm.
reflecting changes in society,
Yeah.
technology,
Right.
and culture.
Yeah.
Think about all the new words and phrases that have emerged in recent years,
Right.
especially with the rise of the internet.
Selfie, #cyberbullying.
Yeah,
These words didn't even exist a generation ago.
exactly.
It makes you wonder what new words will enter our lexicon in the coming years.
It's a linguistic adventure.
Yeah.
And it's not just new words.
Right?
Existing words take on new meanings and connotations.
Uh-huh.
Viral used to refer primarily to a biological phenomenon.
Right.
But now it's commonly used to describe the rapid spread of information online.
Language is a living, breathing entity constantly adapting to the world around us.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And as language learners,
Right.
we have the privilege of being part of this ongoing evolution.
It's like we're all dancers in this grand linguistic ballroom.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of being curious and open-minded.
Right.
Don't just accept words at face value.
Okay.
Dig a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Explore their origins,
Yeah.
their new